Oh my God. Welcome back, y'all, to Batch with B. This is our second episode of Peter's season of The Bachelor. Holy cow, there was a lot. We got a lot to talk about. So let's get into it. First, let's pick up where we left off with the second group date from the first day, essentially. Um, One, I was annoyed with Hannah when we left off. Like, really annoyed. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm just not a Hannah B fan, so I was tired of seeing her, really. But I also hated seeing Peter in that spot he was in. If I was one of those girls on that date and he walks in and he's like, I'm so sorry, we have to cancel. No, 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 no. And for me, that I was so hyped for Natasha. When Natasha was like, listen, no, it's not okay. I loved that. That's the type of person I am. And I think it's also really healthy in their relationship that she's like, listen, I don't like this part. I don't like this, and this, and this. Because I do think that people on this show are like, I don't want to go home if I speak my mind. Like, maybe I'll go home, whatever. Loved that for her. Made me feel really good. The rest of the girls, you could tell they were upset. Didn't really say anything. So not that I didn't have respect for them, but I had a little bit more respect for Natasha after they left that date. I'm also really glad Hannah B didn't stay. I really did not want to talk about her for the rest of the season. So that's plus. Moving on to they have like their group, not date, but their like cocktail dinner thingy, whatever, after the group date. So not all the girls, but just the girls from that date. Then we had Champagne Gate. Oh my God, this was TV gold, you guys. Gold. Couldn't have asked for more fun for an episode, really. So we had this after party type thing after the group date that didn't actually happen, where he reconvened with all those girls. Not all the girls, but those girls that were supposed to be on a group date too that didn't actually happen. And I thought everyone had a really sincere, vibe to them. Again, Natasha was like, this is how I'm feeling. Let's put it in the past. He agreed. It was cute. Can we talk about McKenna? He literally was like, girl, stop talking. Started just making out with her, puts her up on the little counter shelf, armoire, whatever you want to call it. Just making out with her. In the middle of her sentence, she was trying to talk and he was like, no, please stop. I thought it was funny. Obviously they had some sexual tension, but I thought it was more so of like, please stop talking. And I don't know where that actually came in like the lineup of their dates. Like maybe she was the very last person he talked to, so he was just feeling, like a horny pilot. I don't know. But I thought it was kind of funny. Everyone else had pretty sincere moments. I really like getting to know a little bit more about Sydney. She talked about being from Alabama and how she grew up in a small town. If you don't check these certain boxes, like you're different, you experience a different life than the people around you. I totally get that, relate to that 100%. So I really was happy she got the date rose, even though there was no date. It was cute. I liked her. I liked it. But then we got to go to the cocktail party before the rose ceremony. And y'all, oh my God. It was beautiful. It was so good. It was so, so, so good. This is where everything happened. First of all, Alea looked so good. I was sad that we didn't get to see much of her this episode. I really want it to come out that her and Victoria P are friends so bad. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I was really excited for that. However, everyone's, doing their little one-on-one time, whatever. Then Miss Kelsey sets out her bottle of champagne that she's brought from home, whatever. And then little Miss Hannah, I told y'all, Hannah was sneaky. Was not a fan of her last week, totally turned off. I still don't think I'm a fan. We'll get into it. So Kelsey has this bottle of champagne. Of course, it just so happens one of my least favorite girls, or one of the girls who I feel is the least genuine, let me say that, pops the bottle with Peter. Of course, there's waterworks with Kelsey. She's upset. This bitch went unglued. She went for Hannah. She was like, nope, you knew what you did. This is what I saw. This is what you did. Next. I died. I literally died. And my favorite part was Hannah like, I didn't know. Which now I'm seeing that it was producer driven, so like it is what it is. But and then I'm telling y'all, there was the second bottle of champagne. Peter takes Miss Kelsey over to that champagne. They pop it. You're gonna drink from the bottle or the glass. Which she said something about me. I'm not a classy bitch all the time. Goes to take a drink and it's all over her face. Couldn't handle it. It was so good. And then, this was my favorite part. Hannah Ann comes up to her and she's like, don't fucking talk to me. Got her ass. Was like, no, I don't want anything to do with you. You know what you did. It was like heaven on earth. It was so funny. And I totally agree with Kelsey. Kelsey was, what she had said was, I'm real, you're calculated. I don't necessarily know if Kelsey's real, but I think Hannah Ann is very calculated. One, she's a pageant girl. You could see it when she talks, just how everything is calculated. There's a motive for everything. And then we saw it again when they got to go on that group date for like the next group date that we saw later in the episode. You saw it again. Of course, Hannah is, saying, I acknowledge your feelings. I've acknowledged your feelings. She just kept saying it. I already did that. And I apologized. First of all, you're not my therapist. Stop telling me that you acknowledge my feelings. And you already have acknowledged my feelings. That's annoying. I'm going to want to hit you. Straight up. I'm going to want to. I was annoyed with that. It just felt very like, I'm going to be the bigger person here. Girl, I don't care if you're the bigger person. And you don't care if you're the bigger person. But you care about your image. Don't you, Miss Hannah Ann? So I do agree with Kelsey. I think Hannah Ann is very calculated, so I like that she threw that in there. I do think Kelsey overreacted a little bit, but at the same time, there's no way that all of the girls knew about the champagne except Hannah Ann. There's just no way. I don't buy that. So producer driven or not, that was great. And I'm glad that somebody called Hannah Ann out on some stuff because that's how I felt from the very first second of the very first episode. So that was nice. So then we get to the rose ceremony, and of course, Kelsey gets the last rose. When it came down to it, I was really crushed because I just knew that Kelsey wasn't going to go home. They weren't going to send her off of such a good TV moment. But Lauren is gone. Lauren is gone. One of my top 3 girls is gone. I guess that just shows I'm gay and I was just going based off solely how snatched she was. But Lauren, you looked good, girl. The pony was it again. Alea's outfit was my favorite of the rose ceremony. She had that like burgundy. I couldn't really tell from TV, but it was either like a suede felt velvet type thing, or it almost looked like leather in some scenes, so I don't really know, but it was like the jacket and the dress. Super cute. I loved it. Good job, Alea. I also thought it was so cute and also kind of telling of how a lot of the girls rallied behind Kelsey. It kind of gave me like a Regina George vibe. Like she was kind of the leader of the house. And maybe that's because she's one of the oldest girls. I think she's like 28. I'm not sure that anybody else is that old. Not that she's old, but you know what I mean. And I'm wondering if there's kind of like a motherly leader role type thing that she's playing. But I thought it was really sweet. Alea doing her blush and was like, let's talk about your champagne, girl. Before she's spoken to Hannah Ann, about all of the champagne gate, whatever. So I just thought it was cute. Tammy is freaking funny. Tammy deserves, I don't know, but she is freaking funny. I hope she stays for a long time because I enjoy her. She cracks me up. I don't want to be in the middle of this. Like, she was just funny. But then we got to go on to the new group date after everyone leaves, whatever. Next group date is day 2. In my head, I'm calling it day 2, okay? Episode 2, day 2. The real second day of things. So this day, of course, Kelsey and Hannah Ann are in the same group date. Who could have called that? All of us. I loved this date. First of all, Carson Kressley. Yes! I was so excited. So excited. Janice Dickinson. Are you kidding me? Little 7-year-old Gamey was living from my moments of hiding and watching America's Next Top Model. Okay? So good. But, however, y'all know I was annoyed with Victoria F from episode 1. She cried too much. I was really feeling for her. First of all, there should not have been the last 2 walk off in the runway challenge. No. Victoria whooped everyone's ass on the runway. She came out in that lingerie bodysuit, took the coat off. It was it. It was sold, done for, made out with Peter on the runway. I would have given it to her. I didn't need a walk-off. Because when you get into like the walk-off, and, not only that, they were given the same dress to wear for the walk-off. And one of the things that they said that they were looking for, that Janice said we're looking for, is style, technique, whatever. How are you going to let somebody show style if you gave them something to wear? I think the walk-off was stupid. They knew that Hannah Ann was going to blow through Victoria just based off confidence. But Victoria, you owned it, girl. You murdered everyone. And I think, for me, both outfits, her first outfit was my favorite of the first group, the first daytime looks, and her second one was my favorite of the evening wear. So for me, she hands down won, but I'm not a producer, and I wasn't on the panel for whatever reason. This challenge would have been my favorite thing, or this date, whatever. So fun. Hannah Ann probably already owns everything in those 40 shopping bags she got. You know she only shops at Revolve. I do think her cocktail dress, though, for the cocktail the night before was Hervé Leger. So I know it was an expensive little bandage, that gold champagne-y colored dress. But anyway, I'm convinced she probably already owns most of the pieces in there, so I'm sure she's going to sell them on eBay in a week. But yeah. It was fun. It was so fun. I liked seeing it. I had a good time with it. I miss Victoria P. We didn't get to see much of her this episode, and I was sad. But it's okay. Moving on to this cocktail party. Did we get to see a cocktail party? No. We got to see the little bit of the cocktail party thing, whatever you want to call it, after the group date where they all reconvened. Then we get into some more Kelsey and Hannah Ann drama. First of all, Hannah already said, and I'm moving forward. I'm moving on. And that was the end of their little thing that they had from the previous night from the cocktail party. So I thought it was a little odd that she's sitting there and she's like, in my head, I just can't stop thinking about being bullied and I'm being bullied and all these things. I'm going to tell Peter. For me, I think Kelsey had just gone to this point of like, I don't like you, whatever. It's the new day. Let's go. And that's what Hannah Ann had said out loud. And she said to America on the TV screen. But then she opened her little mouth. She went running right to Peter. I have to tell you this and blah, 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 blah. And for me, I agree with Kelsey. I do think Hannah Ann was playing the victim a little bit. And I don't know why she is trying so hard for a little bit of extra attention when she's already getting it. She is murdering the play on Peter's heart. Like, she's winning. Right now, she's like the complete front runner. Not that that means anything, but she's getting all her TV time. She's getting all of her time with Peter. So I just don't really see where she thought that was going to help. Maybe getting Kelsey out of the house. If I was Hannah Ann, though, I haven't seen much of a connection with Peter and Hannah so far. So, not Peter and Hannah. Peter and Kelsey. So I don't really, it's like she's threatened in a way and just wants her gone, but I don't really see why. I'd want girls around that I didn't necessarily think had a shot. And based on what's happened so far, him and Kelsey don't seem to be clicking as hard as he is with, Hannah Ann, Kelly, Madison. So I don't know. It just feels very, very forced and calculated. Good choice of words, Kelsey, because calculated is exactly how I feel about Hannah Ann. So then, of course, he pulls Kelsey up. After he gives the group date rose to Victoria, I loved that. I felt like she earned it. She murdered that runway, mama! Murdered it! So I'm glad she got the rose, and who cares about the clothes? So of course, naturally, Peter pulls Kelsey and is like, this is what I've been told. And you called Hannah Ann a bitch, that she's a princess and that she's fake. I ain't heard nothing incorrect yet, but that's just me. And she's basically like, I'm not a bully. I didn't bully her. I don't like her. She knows I don't like her. She doesn't like me. End of story. I thought we had moved on. Because guess who said that it was time to move on? Hannah Ann. If you guys can't see how calculated she is and how good at this she is, no. Stress. Was it Tammy that said, she said something about, my curls are falling out because I'm so stressed right now. That was my favorite line of the whole show. It was funny. That's what I mean when I say that Tammy deserves an award or something. Not an Oscar. What does this show get? Emmys, probably? Yeah, television. Emmy. Give Miss Tammy an Emmy. Hashtag Tammy for Emmy. Emmy for Tammy. Whatever. Y'all go get on to Twitter and say all that. But I really liked this episode. I thought it was funny. The previews for next week, though, which I don't technically know if it's next week, whatever. But for the future of the show, they showed Miss Alea crying her eyes out. It's gotta be, and she said something about all of my characters come into question or something. It's gotta be Victoria P, y'all. Something has to come out. It has to be known or learned that they're friends. I also wonder if Hannah Ann comes into that a little bit because she was pretty known in the pageant world, as well as Kelsey. They're all intertwined, and nobody can convince me otherwise. Because I know pageant world, I'm in pageant world. You follow people, even if you don't follow them, you know of them. You see things. I just need all of it to come to like one of the nasties is you just like, come to a head and let me pop your ass. Please, I'm begging. When do we get to see Victoria P and Alea? Because they have probably the closest of all the pageant girls, the closest connection, because they actually competed against each other in May. They're filming in what, October maybe, September? Just competed against each other 6 months ago at Miss USA. Victoria made the top 15, Alea did not. Victoria should have made it to the top 10 because her swimsuit body was unreal and her confidence was great, but she didn't. It's fine. I'm very excited for what is next. It looks like this season's going to be really emotional, and I kind of didn't expect that from Peter. I expected a bunch of, for lack of better words, it to be very, very, like, hot and heavy, and I think my heavy has a different description of what's going to happen. It does look like it's going to get hot, and then emotionally heavy. I don't know what's going to happen. What do you guys think is going to happen? I think the next to go, I don't know. I think Sheehan is kind of falling behind for me. There were a couple of other girls. I don't even know their names. They popped up and got a rose, and I was like, who are you? Who is you, mama? I don't know you. But one that stuck out was Sheehan for sure. I want to say somebody is named Savannah. Savannah, I think, probably doesn't have too much longer. But right now, I still think Victoria P is doing really strong. Hannah Ann, obviously. Kelly's not going anywhere. Madison's not going anywhere. I think those four are pretty secure. I guess we'll see what happens the rest of the season. But y'all let me know what you think, what you thought about last night's episode. If you have any future predictions or, a little tea you want to send my way, I'm open for suggestions. And I will see you guys here next week. Yeah, next week for week 3, episode 3 of Peter's season of The Bachelor. Thanks for watching, guys. If you would, please, please, please like, comment below, subscribe to my channel. We got 17 subscribers from the last episode, and I think we were at like 340 views whenever I started filming today. I would love to keep going on that, keep building. I want this to be so much fun. I want us to have a little community going. So join me for the rest of this season. I'll be here every week. Hopefully we'll have some guests soon too. So y'all stay tuned. Bye.